he's trying to wait. I think he's waiting a bit too much. He's allowing Floyd to get ahead of the game right now, and he should be out there throwing some punches.
And
like
Mayweather, and that punch was partially blocked. Mayweather is light years more comfortable in the ring now than was the case in the first 3 rounds.
Yeah, he's a lot better right now. He's real comfortable right now.
Only question is he too comfortable? Will he allow Judah to find a way back in? And there's a good left hand over the top to punctuate the round for Zab Judah, but it was mostly a Mayweather round.
Give me towel, give me towel, give me towel, towel. Look, you strong, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're strong. All right, but listen, you gotta let your hands go. Jab, you can hurt this kid. Let your hands go. He gonna smile, but don't let him walk you down, hit you. He gonna touch you, and he gonna go off the push off.
Easy. I'm starting to bleed. Easy. Okay. Easy. Relax. Relax, baby. Relax.
4 or 5. You tired? You feel tired? Nah, I'm good, baby. So you gotta let your hands go. Don't let him dominate.
Judah threw just 8 punches in that round, according to PunchStat, and landed 5. That tells you that he is defensive, that Mayweather is starting to get his measure, and that he is afraid to let his hands go.
So you come to a fight, you have a ticket, and you need an usher. Well, there he was. In round 7, Judah landed 52% of his power shots, but that was 5 of 8. Larry, power shots, 5 of 8. He actually did try a large number of jabs, or some jabs in the round.
I read that wrong, then.
Yeah,
Thank you for correcting me.
But the bottom line is, your point is quite correct. Mayweather is the rising tide, and Judah is less and less active as the fight goes on.
The question now is whether Judah is going to start taking more chances, or whether he's going to stay in this pocket where he can stay in the fight, but probably can't win it.
Right. Step back.
If you notice, Floyd has his hands up by his chin. That means the quickest. Anytime he throws a punch, it's going to be a quick punch, and it's straight to the target.
There are so many guys who think they can gain some offensive advantage by having their hands low around their waist, Lennox. They're fooling themselves, right?
Yes.
Well, there are sophisticated fighters who can do that against many opponents, using their shoulders for defense.
Well, Judah's still talking, but while he's talking, Mayweather is strafing him with power punches. The left hook was perfect, and the right is landing with greater and greater frequency, and those are 2 body shots that clearly got to Judah.
Zab's talking right now and saying, "You ain't hurting me."
Yeah. Well, he's talking.
Well, if Floyd wanted to reply, he could just say, "I'm winning the round." How do you like that?
Yeah, he's talking the talk, and Mayweather is fighting the fight.
Good straight right hand.
Zab deciding to put up his hands now.
That's a good idea. And a good right hand to the body by Judah. And he pushes Mayweather back off of him. And does it again. And now he'll try to body him off one more time. Now the Mayweather fans are chanting, Floyd, Floyd, Floyd. We've had chants on both sides. Judah, Floyd, Floyd.
Which reminds me, Jim, this is the first fight that Mayweather has in Las Vegas, where he lives, in 4 years. He hasn't been able to capture his hometown fans. Maybe he's done it. That was a good body punch by Judah.
He's had 2 or 3 excellent body punches here, and he landed that left uppercut, and he just missed with the right over the top, and finally he's throwing a lot more punches, which is what most of us, I think, believe he needs to do.
After Zab throws a combination, Floyd Mayweather's still there. He's right in front of his face. He's saying, "Throw more."
You only get hit because you let your hands down. Yo, you throw punches out, you gonna hurt him. You throw. I can't tell you no more. You gotta let your hands go, man. Yo, you gotta get it. You gotta grit down. Look at me. You gotta grit down and like breathe. 1, 2. You scared? Keep your hands right here. You shoot back. You shoot boom.
The body shot is gonna shut his ass down. Gonna make him quit. All right? Dig the body. When you get close, dig the body. Then bring the hook back.
He don't want no more. He don't want no more.
No, that bitch ready to quit.
He want to quit.
He gonna make you quit on the stroke. Talk too much.
No, he tired. He gonna quit.
Uncle Roger talking about that, the body shots, followed by that.
Oh, we could be headed for a 12-round fight here. And again, as Lennox pointed out, they're wearing leather trunks. But you're getting heavy.
And Mayweather has fake fur on along with it.
Through round 8, average power punches per round. Judah 5 out of 13. Is 13 enough? Floyd Mayweather 11 out of 25. In other words, by CompuBox count, Lennox, Mayweather's thrown twice as many power punches as Judah. Judah needs to throw more, right?
Absolutely.
That's what his father was saying. The last 30 seconds of the preceding round were a pretty good primer for what Judah needs to do. But of course, it takes a lot of energy to fight that way. Jab, jab, right hand, they all land.
The way Mayweather is fighting now just shows his brilliant versatility. He's coming in like a brawler behind those gloves. He can outbox you, he can outpunch you, he can outbrawl you.
And Mayweather landed 3 straight devastating body shots. And Lennox, you make a great point about how Judah throws combinations and Floyd is still right there in front of him. This is only Floyd Mayweather's second fight at 147 pounds. What he's basically saying with his body language is, Zab, I can take any punch you can throw. My chin is way good enough for this.
He's also saying his defense is great. And once he's, he keeps his hands close to his face. He's not getting hit with no silly shots. And after Zab throws a combination, he's right there. He steps right back and puts his hands up in front of his face and says, let's go, let's go.
And the blood continues to trickle from the mouth of Zab Judah.
Question that I have in my mind, Jim, as I watch this, is Judah going to be satisfied to go the distance and count that as his victory?
Well, if he believes in his heart that he's fighting the best fighter in the world, maybe that would be enough for him. But it's getting increasingly worse for Judah as Mayweather is simply chasing him around the ring and punishing him now. It's a round in which Mayweather has seemed to land virtually every punch he wanted to.
Mayweather's looking more comfortable in this fight right now, and he's doing what he wants to do. Basically, he's just stepping after Judah.
And Judah's face is showing the punishment. Remember, a lot of judges find it irresistible to score the blood. There's no blood on Floyd. Judah finally got in one good punch after having been whipped for most of the round. Now he lands a right hand, and Mayweather kind of grins at him, as if to say, oh, here's the late round flurry I've seen before. Now there is blood on Floyd, but it's Judah's blood.
That's what Floyd has been guarding against. Even while he's been dominating Judah, he hasn't become reckless because he knows that Judah is looking now to land one of those wild punches.
Madonna. Zab, let me tell you something, man. Listen to me, man. You standing too much like this. Get your movement. Wow, wow, wow. If it ain't nothing but a little pity pat, let your hands go. He ain't doing no patting you, though. But you just don't load up every shot. Just let some shots go. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Keep letting your hands go. You understand me?
Right, right, right. And his right is might in that round.
Toby Keith, big favorite of yours, right, Larry? Mm-hmm. Love Toby Keith's lyrics. I know you do. And there is Irvin Magic Johnson. Irvin, of course, is from Lansing, Michigan. Floyd Mayweather is from Grand Rapids. And they're going to be in business together because both are now represented by Hollywood's legendary William Morris Agency. Harold Letterman, how do you have it so far?
Okay, Jim. 87, 84, 6 rounds to 3, Floyd Mayweather Jr. Jim, I tell you something, it's one thing I love that he does that, I'm sure the judges see. He measures you with that left hand. He leaves it out, and then all of a sudden he throws a hook off it, just like he did right there. I mean, he's doing that, and Zab can't stop it. He's landed great right hands to the body. I think he's won 5 rounds in a row, 6-3, Mayweather.
Lennox, we see it over and over and over. The trainer implores his fighter to let his hands go. The fighter goes back into the ring and doesn't do it. Why? Because the trainer isn't getting hit, right?
True. It's a lot easier than it looks. I mean, harder than it looks.
And Floyd Mayweather is a brilliant counterpuncher, increasingly so in this fight. So Zab knows quite well, despite his fabulous speed and quick hands, that if he throws, he might get hit in return. Meanwhile, Mayweather is doing fine, leading the aggression. Now Judah begins to throw the punches his father wanted to see.
Step back. Don't hold him down. Don't hold him down.
And I got to hand it to Yoel tonight. He's not one of those father trainers who just stands in the corner and says, "It's okay, son, everything's fine."